Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Monica, and we are going to be taking a look at what is on Monica's shelves. Today's focus is going to be my November TBR shelf, which is going to include all of the many books that I plan to read in the month of November. Planning being the key word. We'll see how the month goes itself, but I have some really exciting things that are happening within the month that I am so excited to share with you. So we are going to get right into that. But first, I do have to say we are going to be bringing back the TBR Plinko for this month. It's been a couple months since I've actually used this just because it didn't really fit with some of the things that I was doing over the last couple of months and the strategic TBRs that I had. However, I've got some good reasons to be bringing my Plinko board back for November, so we will do some drops in just a minute. But first, I want to talk about some of the things that are going to be happening in November that are super exciting. First of all, I will be participating in a brand new readathon called the Dungeons and Book Dragons Readathon, which is created by Ivy the Geek Goddess, and I am super excited to be a co-host for this readathon. I will be co-hosting Team Rogues. There are 5 teams you can choose from, 4 of them being competitive and 1 of them being for people who don't really want to be competitive, don't want to have to track points or anything, but still want to be able to participate. There is a Discord and an announcement video. I'll have everything linked in the description so that you can take a look and then join and make sure that you are joining Team Rogues because it is going to be such a fun month. Each team also has specific tropes that get you some bonus points, bonus traits for your group. And for my team, the bonus points are if you read any books that are a morally gray MC or love interest, anything that has to do with heists, thieves, rebels, those are the kind of vibes we're going for on the Team Rogues. So I'm really excited that books that are on my TBR this month are going to fit into that prompt as well, which is going to be so much fun. I hope that you will consider joining in. This is going to be a competitive team-based readathon, so each book that you end up reading, you submit, and it gets added to your team points totals so that we can level up. This is Dungeons and Dragons themed, as the name might suggest, and so this is going to be just full of fun and sneaky competition. So with that as a foundation, let's get into what some of these books are going to look like throughout the month. We are going to start off with some of the things that are very standard for my TBRs. First of all, I do have a Stephen King read-along that I host within my Discord, and for the month of November, we are going to be reading The Running Man, which we strategically picked that book for November because there is an upcoming movie coming out with Glenn Powell. I definitely want to be able to watch the movie, so we're going to read the book first. If that is something that is interesting to you, make sure you join the Discord so you can join in with the chatting as people read along. It's a very free-flowing kind of read-along where you read at your own pace, but we do have a specific book that we pick each month to read along. Now, next we're going to take a look at a very staple category of books that are always on my TBR, and that's because I have found a lot of joy and I love reading arcs that I get from publishers is a way of reading the book in advance so that I can then celebrate the book when it's released and really help to bolster some of the online presence of it. And one of the ways that I contribute to being able to do this is by making it one of my personal goals to try to read the books in the month before the book releases, so that way I am prepared and ready and can be able to talk about it and post about it before the book is coming out or when the book is coming out. So as part of that, it means that I take a look at my calendar of my upcoming arcs and we add them to the TBR in the month that I need to be reading them. So starting off, I do have quite a few books that are coming out in November that I want to shout out and ones that I haven't read yet. So I am already behind, but I do think that these are very, very doable. They're spread out a little bit more than they usually are. So starting off with November 4th, I actually have one arc that I've already read and one arc that I haven't read yet. The one that I have read is Fallen City by Adrian Young, and I loved this book and I'm super, super excited for it to be out and for people finally get to read it. This is such an exciting romantasy that I just thoroughly enjoyed, and I love Adrian Young's writing, so this is a really fun one to look out for. The one that I haven't read, however, is Bonded by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen, and this book is a reprint. I think this is getting a new cover, things like that. So this is a book that's already previously been out, and I did get an arc of the new edition, but I have not read it yet, so we're gonna add that onto the list. Next up, the following week, I have 2 books that come out on the 11th. So on November 11th, Shiny Happy People by Clay McLeod Chapman, and also Haunting the Hunter by Hannah Harp. These 2 books I have the arcs for, haven't read them, but I definitely want to get to them, and I'm very intrigued by their synopsis, so they're going on my list. Then skip 2 weeks, and on November 25th, The Memory Gardener by Meg Donahue is coming out. This is a physical book that I got from Gallery Books as an arc, and I have actually been working through this over the last week or so, reading a little bit every day. This is a really cute kind of magical realism type of story about a woman who gardens, and the scents that are associated with the different flowers and plants that she is working with end up triggering memories. So when she goes to end up restoring a garden at this retirement home, old folks home, she ends up unlocking a lot of new memories, or at least I assume. I have not actually gotten that far. She is working on the restoration at this retirement home now, but I don't really know what all is going to come from it. It just seems like a really poignant, kind of beautifully written story that I'm really excited to be able to work through a little bit slowly, which is why I started it so early. And then we also get into the books that are coming out in December, because like I said, I try to read them a month in advance. So my December books that are coming out, I actually only have 2 right now, which is kind of mind-boggling and is probably good because I also have to read all of those November ones as well. First is The Rebel and the Rose by Catherine Doyle. This is the sequel to The Dagger and the Flame, and I'm really excited for this one to come out as well. While I'm filming this, I am currently reading this book, so I am working on it and I will have it read before the official publication. Technically, this book is out in the UK, but this is the US release on December 2nd, so I'm really excited about that. And the final book on my list for my ARCs specifically is going to be We Who Will Die by Stacia Stark. I have read Corthus Cruel and Lovely and the second book in the series. That's all the farther I've gotten in that series, but I have really liked Stacia Stark's writing, and so I'm really excited to try out this new one. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. That is coming out on December 30th, so I've got a bit more time to work on this one, which is definitely a good thing. But now that we've taken a look at all of the ARCs that I have coming up in the next couple of weeks that I need to be working through, we now have to take a look at the Plinko board. And the Plinko board likes to have control over how many books that I am going to be reading in any given category. And I have 2 other main goals that I am trying to work through this year, and the Plinko board is going to help me out with those by telling me how many books I am reading out of my special edition collection and just off of the general books that I have on my physical shelves. Because I'm on a book buying ban where I need to be reading the physical books that I already own before I can buy new ones, I am going to be taking books from my shelves that I already have and I need to work through. But that also being said, I have a lot of special editions that have been piling up from the subscription boxes that I get, and so reading those contributes to the book buying ban and also helps me feel better about getting more books from my subscription boxes in the coming days. So with that said, we are going to go ahead and do our Plinko drop. I'm going to get the board set up here so you can see it nice and easy, and as I end up dropping, it's going to tell me how many books I am reading for each of those 2 categories, and then I'll go to my shelves and I will pick some of those books out and see what I'm reading for November. First off, let's go ahead and do the drop to see how many special editions I will be reading this month. On top of the ARCs that I have already listed, this is going to be a really crazy TBR, so let's go ahead and get into it. Alrighty. And we've landed on a 4. So that means I need to select 4 special editions from my shelf. Okay, so this first book is actually not going to fit with the readathon theme. However, it's a book that I've had on my mental TBR for a long time and one that I really want to read. So I'm going to throw it on my list because why the heck not? And this book is First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. I have 2 special editions of this actually, so it really counts for my special edition goal. I'm going to throw this one on just for like a silly good fun time because I have a lot of really intense books that I think are going to be on this list, and I would like to break that up just a little bit. The next one up that I want to read is The Veiled Kingdom by Holly Renee. This was from Bookish Box, and I absolutely love the designs of Bookish Box, and like the physical make of their books just feels so good. So I'm excited to add this one on to the list. It's also going to fit with some of the tropes that are going to be very key for this readathon. Next up is going to be A Forbidden Alchemy by Stacey McEwen. Again, I have heard some really great things about this book, but I have not read it yet, and I do have the special edition sitting here, so we are going to dive into this one hopefully very soon. Some of these I will need to get the audiobooks for to help me out, but it's fine. We're gonna go with it, and we're gonna hope that I can get the audios to go with these. The other one is Arcana Academy, and I know I have the audiobook for this one already from Libra.fm's influencer program, so that's gonna be very helpful to getting to this one. But this is also going to align perfectly with our tropes because this is gonna have a lot to do with like thievery, things like that. So we're gonna go ahead and throw that one on the TBR as well. And now that we've gone through the special editions, it is time to drop the token again and figure out how many regular books that are not special editions from my physical shelves I am going to be reading for November. Let's go ahead and drop. 4 again. Honestly, I will take that, and I definitely think that I can come up with 4 books easily to go ahead and add to this TBR. First off, keeping very well with the theme of heists and thieves, I am going to add To Have and to Heist by Sarah Desai onto this list. This book has kind of been sitting in the back of my shelf. Like, I never really look at this one too much, but it's perfect for this theme, and honestly, I feel like, again, throughout some of these fantasy books, it will be nice to throw in a little bit of a romance here, so I'm gonna add this one onto the list, and I think it's going to be a great addition. Next up, we have The Dead Cattail Assassins by P. Jelly Clark. I had met this author at an event earlier this year, got the book signed, but I haven't read it yet. It is very short, so I also think this is going to be nice as kind of like an in-between. Shouldn't take too long to get through, but definitely keeps with some of these themes of like rebels and rival groups going against each other. Next up, I want to read Accomplice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer, and this book is book 3 in the series, and I've read books 1 and 2. This one came out within the last last few months, but I haven't gotten to it yet. And this one is very much a morally gray kind of villain. The fact that you are supposed to like the villain because he's a main character. It's a morally gray vibe. There's also just like lots of thievery and heists and things going on within these books. I don't know what's going to happen in here, but we're going to find out by adding it onto my list. And then last up, we are going to do another book 3 in a series. And this one I am also really, really excited for it because I have loved books 1 and 2 in the Ember and the Ashes series by Sabaa Tahir. Book 3 is Reaper at the Gates, and I just need to read this. This series is incredible, and it fits with literally every single trope that I could want for this readathon. We've got the thieves, the heists, the rebels, just wonderful. And I'm really excited to add this one to my list. But there's also an honorable mention that is not an honorable mention at all, but rather this is a book that's very, very important to me and my soul and my well-being. And so I need to add it onto my November TBR because it didn't quite make it into October for me. And that is because the new Ali Hazelwood book Mate came out and I have not had a chance to read it. And there's a reason why I've been putting this off just a little bit since its release. And that's because when I read book 1, Bride, I annotated my copy and I was very in-depth with some of my annotations, got lots of tabs, lots of highlights, everything going on here. And so now that I have the sequel, I want to do the same, but I haven't been annotating in a while, which means I need to get back into my annotation game. I'm going to hopefully reread Bride, get back into the rhythm of all the annotations that I had made in here, and then I can make kind of like similar styled remarks throughout Mate. So this one's going to take me a little bit longer to read just because I'm going to slow down. I'm going to read through it a little bit more intentionally while I'm annotating. So I am going to throw these 2 books technically, but especially Mate on here because I definitely want to read this as soon as possible. I love Ali Hazelwood's writing and I just need to get this one into my brain as soon as possible. But that brings me to the end of all of the very many books that are going to be on my TBR. My Plinko board was actually kind of decent to me this time, so thank you Plinko board for being so nice to me. I have lots of books to choose from for November and I'm really excited to be participating in this readathon. So again, be sure to check out the D&D readathon. I'll have the information linked below, as well as my own personal Discord for the Stephen King read along if that is something that interests you. As always, I want to thank you for being here and I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments if you have anything to share about the books that you're reading, if you're excited for the readathon, what team you plan to join, it better be the Rogues, and just anything else that you'd like to share with me. I'd love to hear that as well. Thank you so much for being here, for spending your time with me. I appreciate every moment that you spend here and I really hope that I will see you in the next video. Bye!